So someone can be in the church for years, be a great church member, but a poor disciple maker. The amount of time you spent in this building does not make you a better disciple maker. You may be feeling kind of bad right now. Anybody? Anybody feeling like kind of dropping the ball a bit? So, do you guys know why I went into the DeVos training? I've been involved in ministry since 2004. I rededicated my life in '02. I've been involved in ministry since 2004. And then when I look out and see, where are the disciples that I made? I don't see them. There are a few here and a few there. There are some people that I poured into, but one young man, and I don't mean to put him on the spot, but Paul raised his hand and said, I haven't been trained. Paul been in the youth group with me for a long time. And I've done a bunch of teaching and teaching and teaching. But I missed the element of training. And so my heart was like, God, I want to see people that I've had an impact on being disciples that are making more disciples. Right? Not just good church members that come now because we talked, but seeing other people's lives transformed because we poured into them. And so, though you might be feeling bad, this is me, yo. I have not been great at making disciples. And my desire is I want to do better. I want more people to know this God that I get to know. So I said I've done a ton of teaching, but no training. Think about this as an illustration. How many important jobs say, here's the manual, now go do it? You show up on a job, and you're going to be a heart surgeon. They'd be like, all right, check it out. Here's what you need to read. Now go operate. Foolishness, right? But sometimes that's what we do. Yo, here's the book. Now go operate. That's not what Jesus did with his disciples. And so if we want to be better disciple makers, we need to actually look at what Jesus said and what he did. Right? So, even in college, and college is a great illustration also because they'll give you a ton of knowledge, right? You'll sit for 3, 4 years, even more. But eventually, you got to go out and do that internship. And in that internship, you're supposed to apply all that you've been learning. You get real-world experience, real-world training, not just theory. Hey, guys, we're great on theory. We have the knowledge. So, many times, a church service is like a college class. And I think this is why the church in America is weak. It's like a college class. We just keep coming back over and over again, sitting in class. We are learning a ton, but we're doing nothing with it. Some of us were even trained, and we're not practicing what we were trained to do. You're probably wondering, where is the word? It's coming. I promise you, it's coming. What if we measured spiritual maturity and faithfulness rather than just knowledge? We think once a person achieves a certain level of knowledge, well, now they've gone to school, they got their ministry degree, or they've studied under so-and-so, or they've spent so many years in the church, now they know enough to go out and do some work. That's not the way Jesus did it, yo. That's not at all the way that he made disciples. And so I want us to think of it like this. This is something that was shown to me over the course of this week. You think of like a stool, right? And there's one back there, but I'm not going to grab it. My son's sitting on it. But if you think of a stool similar to this, right? And that stool, let's say it had 3 legs, okay? So this stool, let's say it has 3 legs coming down. Could this stool stand up with 3 legs? Yeah, right? If they were evenly spaced out, right? If they were the same length, you could sit on this stool, you'd be good to go, right? What if one of those legs is shorter than the other, though? Don't sit in it, right? It's going to be wobbly or unable to stand. And so 3 legs, right? If this is faithfulness right here, this is actually doing, okay? Actually obeying. This is faithfulness. Leg number 1 would be knowledge. Hey, guys, in this church, if you've been here for any length of time, you got biblical knowledge. You have grown to know who God is, to know about him, and we should be equipped to share that information with others. Right? Would you guys agree with that? Sure. Okay. The second leg would be application. See, leg number 1, knowledge. Leg number 2, applying what I know. The reason World Overcomers Ministry is looked at as different is because we actually try to live what the Bible says. Right? So we're known as a peculiar people. We're known as, well, they're different than some other people that profess to be Christians. Right? So then we've got some good knowledge. We've got some great application. The third leg of that stool to make sure that it stands or is stable is sharing. Knowledge, application, and sharing. So that knowledge that has been entrusted to us that we are now applying, are we sharing that intentionally with others? And if we do those 3 things, not long leg of knowledge, long leg of application, short leg sharing, right? If we do those 3 together equally, we'll see growth. But if we eat our meal and just keep it to ourselves, we're going to keep seeing the same people over and over, week after week.